New year, new mogul mail. Let's get it.
Goals, and maybe one of your goals this year is to burn as much money as possible. And I have a great solution
Mm,
for you. It's called esports.
okay.
If you don't know, pretty much every single esports organization is vastly overvalued because they're all
Okay.
subsidized by venture capitalist groups that are probably going to get fed up in 3 to 5 years when none of them are profitable, or crypto exchanges. And we know what's happening with crypto exchanges.
Yeah, crypto's going down, but so a lot of you know, a lot of you don't know. I work with GLP. GLP, we have a. I say we because I work with them, but I don't have any part of this. We actually have a esports team called Team War. I think it's co-owned by Mike, who owns GLP, and the other owner. He actually works for War full time, right? And the way I know, at least from what Mike's told me, and Mike is usually pretty transparent with me, the way that they get their money for War is mostly due to sponsorship. So like they're sponsored by Scuff right now, and they're trying to get sponsored by like a whole bunch of other companies, but it's mostly through sponsors, and the other half is on Mike's end. And since Mike is a successful YouTuber, he's fine with funding a lot of it, but it's really the sponsor money that comes in because they got some big sponsor checks that helps run at least that team, right? I don't know about these other teams, but I can speak for Team War. They're getting paid through sponsorship and Mike, not crypto or whatever else, venture
Let's just take
capitalists.
a look at the Forbes top 10 most valuable esports companies. At the top, you can
100
see
Thieves,
TSM, 100
Team
Thieves,
Liquid,
Liquid, and FaZe Clan. Well, let's just take a look at
Cloud9.
TSM. How are they doing? Oh, they had a deal with FTX that got
Mm.
suspended. It was worth 210 million. Okay, that's all right. Well, how about 100 Thieves? Are they? Oh, they laid off a bunch of people. Okay, well, you got to reduce overhead sometimes. Okay, what?
Bro, with 100 Thieves, man, I think they have way like they were burning way too much money. Like I don't know if it's really because of Nade, if Nade Shot really wanted this whole 100 Thieves building. Like I saw it was like I guess a sponsorship video like, hey, we got this new 100 Thieves building. You guys can come and be influencers. You are use our influencer room, and we have the lighting and the equipment. And I was just like, bro, if people wanted to be influencers that bad or be Twitch stars that bad, they would just invest in it at their own house. Why would I constantly go to the 100 Thieves building to stream? Like this makes no sense at all. Like sure, maybe I want to try it one time, right? Or maybe I'm in the area. I'm like, oh, let's go to the 100 Thieves building. Why not? But to pay to sit and stream in somebody else's equipment, you're probably running at a net loss doing that. So just building this whole facility made no sense to me. I thought it was weird. I feel like it was like somebody's dream to build this and they got it done. But honestly, you built it for what? Apparently it's not working out for you.
What about Liquid? Oh, a
Team
deal with
Liquid,
Coinbase
Coinbase, okay.
for 4 years. Surely that will last. And finally, FaZe Clan. Okay, publicly traded company valued at
Yeah.
134 million. Wait,
Good job.
400 million, 100 throw. Okay,
Oh yeah, oh yeah, that's
oh,
crazy.
that dropped really fast. Okay, well,
Damn.
that's look, not me just trying to make fun of esports orgs, because I like esports and I like anyone who takes an attempt at making it work. It just doesn't seem like the economics of it match the ambitions of a lot of the people inside of the sphere. What does work, however? Content teams, influencers, signing content creators, which a lot of esports orgs do, and that seems
Yeah.
to be the profitable part of their business. And it's also what some content teams do. I mean, take offline TV, for example. You
So maybe I'm wrong about the whole influencer in the building type of stuff. Maybe I'm wrong about that.
put all these people in a room, they print out multiple million view videos that they can sell giant sponsors on. I mean, pretty much every one of their videos has a sponsor, and they're getting buku bucks for that.
100%.
With pretty low overhead because they each have their own individual careers.
Facts.
Now, imagine you could combine the content team of OTV with maybe the more rigid structure of an esports org, and you end up with something like OTK, One True King,
Mm.
a streamer-backed esports org that doesn't really do esports. I mean, they had a team in World of Warcraft, but they dropped the team, so they're pretty much just sticking with the good old-fashioned content creator route, which is smart because they're not only able to sell sponsors on the watch hours of all the people inside the org, they're also able to sell things directly to consumers with businesses they start, like Starforge Systems. I mean, imagine if I had Swipe Bidets and then I had a team of 10 creators that I worked with.
Isn't that the thing Asmongold like runs like the Starforge whatever, and like the logo supposedly looks like his hairline or a dick
All the time, and they all sold Swipe Bidets individually, we'd get a lot of buttholes clean in the new year. So it makes sense. And don't just take my word for it. Let's look at the most popular Twitch teams by hours watched. Obviously, G Fuel at the top. They have 671 creators. XQC's org, he's up top there. Loaded, they have a bunch of big creators. And OTK is fourth. They're fourth with only 14 people, and a couple of their creators barely streamed over the past year for reasons we're going to get into. Now, I haven't made any videos about OTK because, well, none of the individual pieces felt substantial enough to talk about for longer than a couple of minutes. But enough has happened over the past year, and especially with the update last night that ended the investigation on Mizkif, that I feel like we can talk about it all today. Now, we're going to get to the
investigation ended
at the end, but first, let's do things in order with what started off their terrible month of December, and it involves another one of their founders, Rich Campbell. Now, Rich Campbell, if you don't know, is a esports host turned streamer who did a lot of maybe the more business side of things behind OTK, and one of the people that he used to be in a relationship with, Lexi, on Twitter, dropped a tweet longer about a terrible experience she had with Rich. And I really recommend you read this on your own.
I'm not here to sleep with you. I said no due to the fact that I was not interested in having sex with him. There's not much communication until I was at a French restaurant, 2 girlfriends, blah, blah, blah. Kept attempting me to lay on him. I repeatedly said, I'm not here to sleep with you. I do not want that. At that point, he said, I think tonight's the last time I'm going to see you. Okay. After trying to speak to him for an hour about our relationship, the awful way he treated me, he just continued to deflect. Okay. Proceeds to jerk off in front of me while continuing to talk about how he thinks about getting me pregnant constantly. He kept begging me to have sex with him. I said no. He continually attempted to take my clothes off, kept saying no. Why are you still there at that point? I don't understand. Put himself aside me, finish unprotected. Why are you still there? Why are you still there? This guy's over here jerking off in front of you. I'm not here to sleep with you, but you're still here. Like, could you not leave? Was he being too physical? I'm not going to read this whole thing. And I'm going to need both sides of the story before I just go ahead and say this rich guy is just like all this shit is true. Like, this is allegations. I need to see proof. I need a police report. I need something else longer than a twit longer in the internet saying, yeah, it was what really happened. I need proof. I need more than this because there's been way too many examples, okay, of false allegations coming out and then everybody rallying behind the false allegations and then they're being wrong. Perfect example, Zero from the Smash community versus that one female, whatever. She said he did all this stuff, grooming, blah, 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 talking to underage girls, blah, blah, blah. What Zero did, he didn't say anything. The whole internet hated him. Twitter, his YouTube's comment section, everybody was unsubscribing. Everybody hated Zero, right? Zero took her to court. They had a non-disclosure agreement. It's over. It's finished with. Apparently Zero won because he ain't in jail, right? They got a non-disclosure. He got a settlement. She's broke as hell and still complaining about, oh, justice this, justice that. Zero wiped his hands clean. He's going to the gym damn near every day, looking good. Bro got his channel back. He's doing his own thing, not even talking about Smash anymore. He's living his life. So I'm gonna need some actual valid proof before I say anything else about a twit longer about he was jerking off in front of me and I didn't like it. I need some actual proof.
I mean, it states how she feels about it more clearly and everything that happened more clearly. But I'm going to read you 2 excerpts. I'm not here to sleep with you, and I do not want that. That is Lexi to Rich Campbell when they were hanging out at Rich's place. And then Rich replied, by jerking off in front of her while continuing to talk about her getting pregnant and then begging her to have sex with him. After she said no, he continually attempted to take her clothes off. She kept saying no, and at the very end, he rolled her over and put himself inside of her and finished unprotected. That was hard to read. But it is a
If
clear
that's really happened, if that really happened, the guy needs to go to jail. Point blank. Period. He needs to go to jail. She needs to get therapy. If she is pregnant, she needs to figure out whether she wants to keep the child or not. Well, damn, Roe v. Wade, right? So I don't even know, right? I don't know, but she got, maybe she has money to go to another country and get it done. I don't know. I don't know if that's what really happened. That's the steps we need to take.
picture of sexual assault, rape, just outright. Now, Rich hasn't replied to this yet, but there were a
Mm,
lot of text messages that backed up them being together at that exact moment, him
okay.
asking her to come over, etc.
Okay.
And it ended off with a text from him to her right after it ended with the same timeline saying, "You okay?" So
That doesn't mean that's what happened. Stop it. Stop.
I believe the account. You can
Okay, you can believe the account. This could really be Rich. I'm here, coming. Okay, you okay? That does not mean everything she said is what happened. Okay, if this is a relationship and it's relationship issues that is being brought to the public, this does not mean that went down. It could easily be they went in there. Maybe, let's say he did want to do that. Say he was like, "Oh, I want to sleep with you." She said no. Okay, now let's say they got in an argument and it was verbal, and he's like, "Okay, you never want to sleep with me, da 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 da. I'm tired of this. I want to be with somebody that wants to be with me physically and romantically, and it's not you." And she's like, "No, I do. I just don't want to right now." Blah 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 blah. And next thing you know, he's like, "Get out. I don't want to talk to you ever again." She's crying. Maybe he's crying. I don't know. We don't know. All we're going off is based off one person's message. We didn't get the other side of the story. Stop, bro. Like, I'm so tired of people just, oh, this one person said a whole bunch of stuff. Here's some text messages. Yeah, this is the real account. I'm here, coming later. Are you okay? Oh, that means obviously everything she said is true. Like, no, bro, wait. Okay, even if you do want to report on the story, still say you don't know. But if this is the case, this is what needs to happen. Not, oh, she said this, and this. Here's text messages to back it up. I think it's true. Like,
wait for Rich Campbell's statement, which hasn't come out yet, but it's pretty clear that OTK also believes the statement, or at least is concerned enough about it that they
yeah, I mean, of course, I mean, that's their employee, right? And he's one of the faces of the org. So if he's going through some type of potentially not like legit, like this is legal issues at this point, even if it wasn't, real. I mean, you could still go to like lawsuit for defamation of character and all this other stuff, right? So of course they don't want him to be like on the org right now, like be in the background until it's actually, there's some evidence, they go to court, whatever, somebody goes to jail, like a sentencing hearing, jury, like, come on, something. Innocent until proven guilty. There's a reason why we have that, because a lot of people, and I've already reacted to it, they go to jail for some shit that they didn't do, and then they get out years later. They get some type of bullshit settlement, or they don't get a settlement. They get out of jail after being in prison for 40 years. 40 years for something they didn't do. And they're like, "Yeah, sorry, we made a mistake. Here's $5,000." $5,000, 40 years in jail? No, I need innocent until proven guilty. I don't need no, oh, it looks guilty, this and that. I think he is. Okay. And I'm gonna say this. I'm saying this because even if it's true, even if everything she said is true, and he does go to jail for doing this, even if he does go to jail for doing this, I still need a conviction. I'm not blatantly defending him. I'm defending anybody that is being attacked on the internet. Anybody that's being attacked on the internet without any type of validation or proof. Because I've seen too many people either get their name thrown in the mud, and then everybody else coming back like, "Oh, we're sorry. We thought it was real. Oh man, I didn't really believe them anyway." Like, no, just stop. Stop, bro. You're fake. You're fake as hell. You didn't believe them. You thought that they did whatever they did because somebody else said it, and then the whole internet got behind it. I don't believe that shit. No.
instantly, and I mean instantly, dropped him within like hours of the statement coming out,
And that
he was
makes
booted
sense.
from OTK, which is big. I mean, he's one of the founders of it, and they kicked him out. So that was a terrible thing to happen.
But even if they kicked him out, that doesn't mean it's necessarily true. When Johnny Depp and Amber Heard went to trial, Disney dropped Johnny, one of the biggest names that they have on their list. There will be no longer a Pirates of the Caribbean without Johnny. And Johnny said he's never coming back. Disney dropped him, and guess what? He won his trial. So what is this? Oh, the company dropped him, so it must be true. No way.
But the next
The
week,
company, of
was
course,
the
is going to drop
end
him.
for OTK as a whole because they lost a huge part of their organization, Jay Schlatt. Now, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to tell you the value that Jay Schlatt has on the YouTube algorithm. He's one of my most viewed videos on pretty much every single one of my channels, and he's part of the reason why Mogul Mail even exists today, because the weekly slap is what inspired me originally. And he mutually agreed to leave OTK. Now, it might not seem like a big hit because, you know, he's not much of a streamer. He doesn't stream too often. So many people didn't even know he was in OTK. But if you look at OTK's YouTube channel that has almost 600,000 subscribers, that was built by Jay Schlatt. Let's just take a look at the top 10 most viewed videos. 9 of them are involving Jay Schlatt. He's like 13 of the top 15. He is
That's good.
OTK YouTube. And I think that's a big thing to lose. And then the week after that, which was actually just last night, we finally got the end to the investigation on Mizkif over the alleged sexual assault cover-up involving his best friend at the time, Crazy Slick. And now, if you don't know, this was basically a third-party law firm that OTK hired to investigate Mizkif, to which a lot of people, I think, understandably were upset about. They're like, okay, well, aren't you just investigating yourself? But who is supposed to do the investigation? If there were no charges filed by the police.
Oh, if there's no charges filed by the police, then you need a private investigator at that point. And it has to be hired by a third party. You can't hire it yourself, because if you hire your own private investigator, of course, you're not going to find anything. It's like when the police investigate themselves for wrongdoing and they say, oh, yeah, we didn't find any issues. Yeah, of course, you're going to need a third party. And the woman that was, you know, telling her story, she needs to hire her own private investigator as well. There should be 2 private investigators, one from their side, one from her side, and then both of those private investigators do their jobs, and then whenever they both present their results, after that, whatever the results say, if people don't like the results, you know what they do? They hire a third investigator to investigate both of them. That's what you have to do. It's going to take a long time. It's going to cost a lot of money. But if you want justice, you got to do it right. You can't half-ass it, because if you half-ass justice, you get the wrong convictions. What happens when you get the wrong convictions? People get screwed that don't deserve to get screwed, and the real bad guy gets away. And what happens when the real bad guy gets away? He commits more of the same acts. He or she commits more of the same acts. Why? Because they got away with it before. Jeffrey Dahmer got away with multiple murders before he was arrested. You think he just got one person, he was like, okay, I'm never going to do it again. Or if there's a thief and he steals and he's like, okay, I'm never going to do it again. Like, no. If they don't get convicted and get arrested, they will do it again.
And they aren't doing an investigation. It's not like someone's going to magically get up and do it. You kind of have to hire someone to try to absolve yourself. But even if we just ignore the entirety of the investigation, I think it's pretty safe to say that a lot of the allegations made in the original tweet by Trainwreck were outright false. I covered this in a video I made yesterday called I Lied, but if we just go over it one more time again, there was no blackmail.
Okay.
Not an iota of blackmail was seen. When Train said, are you going to send Maya and Mitch to cover up sexual assault? Maya said on a stream that she would have gone on her own volition. And then as far as the one thing that did age really poorly and that was pretty bad of Mizkif, a.k.a. this clip, well, let's just play my... It was a clip from Miz that was on his alt stream that didn't sound so nice. Sexual assault, we need to rank S tier. What is sexual assault? We need to rank F tier. And I lambasted him a bit for that comment because it was sexually harassed.
Bro, this is weird, bro. Fucking, this is Ludwigception, bro. We got a reaction of Ludwig reacting to his video and a reaction of Ludwig reacting to that video reaction of him reacting to that video, and you got my video reacting to all of it. That's weird.
Asked Adriana. That's based off her words. Listen to this. Yes, rehashing. Then they is totally coincidental that I like that covers it. I'm just playing that clip again because it is totally coincidental that I happened to upload that video yesterday or 2 days ago, and then they did this announcement yesterday. Obviously, I have no clue that this was coming. Otherwise, it would have been great to just wait a day, and that would have covered it. But yes, rehashing a lot of the original claims of Mizkif covering up sexual assault don't seem to be true. What is true and what OTK did punish him for were his actions on his comeback stream October 11th, which demonstrated a lack of empathy and ignorance towards the seriousness of the situation. Now, I never made a video about this. I never really talked about this, so a lot of you might not know. But after the initial apology that Mizkif made on Twitter, he kind of went radio silent for a while. He didn't stream for a long time, and then he suddenly was like, I'm going to come back and I'm going to stream. Fine. That's up to him. You know, the investigation wasn't over. It was going a while. He missed streaming. But his comeback stream was, to put it lightly, embarrassing. It started with an hour of him basically stalling because Hassan and XQC were both reacting to him to try to see what he was going to say about the investigation or what he was going to say about the entire situation. And
That's weird.
In response to this, played Super Mario 64 and said, I'm going to keep playing until you guys stop watching me. And they didn't. So then he eventually ponied up, and then he said, I have no news. Which by itself would just be like, you know, kind of.
Why didn't he just say that from the get-go?
This moment, which was really just dumb.
No matter what, dude. One of my things.
Now, this is a tattoo artist who talks about how good he is at cover-ups, specifically with bad tattoos.
I am a master at cover-ups and reconstruction.
Me too, for 4 years.
Excuse me?
Wow.
I think this will not look good like this. Like, let's.
That's tough.
It's a
He
cringe
also told
joke.
This video of sexual harassment is illegal. It was just kind of tone deaf. I don't think he had a plan going into this stream. And although it doesn't seem like anything involving a sexual assault cover-up was true, it is true that he made an inappropriate joke about sexual harassment and that he had some unsavory clips and like random calls and generally I just don't think handled it as well as he could have or should have. And I think it's pretty clear that my boy Stans had the better path of what you should do in that position.
And you just go, hey, chat, I've been gone for 3 weeks thinking about everything that's happened. There's an investigation going on, so I can't say anything about it. I hope to give you guys the truth, but in the meantime, I am out of OTK on whatever. I'm going to be streaming like normal so I can make money to pay my rent for the next after this, but today I'm going to leave. I hope I can share more information with you soon. And then you turn off stream. That's it. Literally, that's it.
Yeah.
Super mature. Stan's a smart guy. He's someone who I go to for a lot of the things that I need to do.
Sounds like good legal advice.
To Miz acting appropriately during this stream and in the wake of all the drama, OTK has decided to remove his board duties effective immediately and place him on monitored probation, which is basically just them saying, hey, we're going to punish him because we acknowledge that it was bad, but we're not going to kick him off. And I think, honestly, if Mizkif wasn't such an important piece of OTK for the first year and a half of its creation, I mean, every big stream was on his channel. He was really carrying the org on the live stream front. He probably would have been kicked off. Straight up. If he wasn't that valuable, they probably would have booted him for just how he handled it. Because if there's a clear goal with OTK here, and it is to remove the bad connotations for the bad things that have happened with some of the org's founders.
Every company.
From the org's like idea in public conscious. But basically, trying to clean up their image.
Yeah,
right, to put
every company does this.
Prediction right here.
Every company does this.
Although it's been a hell of a year and an even worse month, I think OTK has.
I don't know about you guys, but 2020 for me, or 2022 for me, was honestly pretty fine. Like, it was not terrible at all. Like, when I think about 2022, really for me, it's more of a blur of work with a mix of adventure. That's about it.
Has a bright future. And it's not because of Mizkif. It's not because the other streamers on it, but it's because the people running it. Now, I know Tips. I know he's a good dude, and he's someone who came in clutch for me when I was running my Smash event and my chess boxing event by helping out, by sponsoring with Starforge. And I know he's got a good head on his shoulders. He's a smart guy, and I think he'll take the org good places. And he's joined by Zach Diaz, another guy who I know is a super good dude who worked at TikTok and Twitch. So barring any other drama and barring these two guys leaving the org, I think OTK will probably stick around, although they will always have a bit of a stained reputation with some, and that's just a battle that time will defeat. And that's about it.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Honestly, good video, Ludwig. But yeah, that's really true. Time. A lot of people will just they'll either the people that know about the shady history will either die, or new people will come that never knew about the issue whatsoever. Like with, Coca-Cola, a branch of Coca-Cola was in Nazi Germany making soda for the Nazis. And then we got Volkswagen and BMW making vehicles for the Nazis. And then the Nazis held the Olympics. Yeah, and a black man won. So he got gold. He got first place in Nazi Germany. So shout out to him. That's some crazy stuff, bro. But if it like time will just defeat everything, no matter how bad somebody is or how bad a company or government is, like it doesn't matter. Time will win. As long as they don't talk about it, eventually people will forget. Unless people make videos about it and then those videos go out. And then the history is archived through the internet and stuff like that. But it's normally not in your face because only so many people really care. Like you tell people, oh yeah, Coca-Cola was made, there was Coca-Cola being made in Nazi Germany. Okay, so what? It's delicious. Like, so it doesn't matter, right? As long as the product's good, that's honestly the only thing that really matters, right? So it's your boy Miss. That's everything. Like I said, for the rich thing, I still need proof because ain't no way in hell I'm gonna sit here and say, oh yeah, man, all that stuff really happened. And then I gotta backtrack a week or 2 weeks from now when it turns out that never happened. And then the girl's going to court and then she loses the court case. And then everybody that made videos about it that were saying, oh man, yeah, this has to be true. They're looking like they could get in trouble as well. They could legally, like Ludwig could probably get in trouble if Rich took this to court, he won, and then he's like, yeah, I'm also suing all these other people for saying this was true. Now, Ludwig didn't say that it was true. He just expressed that he thinks the text messages are real. So maybe he has legal grounds because he didn't outright say, yeah, this is what really happened. This is true. So he has legal ground. But at the same time, Rich also potentially has a legal case. Will he win the case? I'm not too sure. I don't know. I'm not a legal expert, but just, looking around, you can learn stuff just by watching, right? So, I always will stand for the little guy unless there is evidence to say otherwise. That's just me, though. It's your boy Miz. Come rate, subscribe. See you guys next time. Peace.